The Galactic Council, a coalition of the most powerful species in the galaxy, convened in the Grand Hall of Seraphis Prime. Its members, representing various planets and systems, held the fate of countless civilizations in their hands. The council chamber was a marvel of architecture, an enormous dome of transparent crystal that allowed a breathtaking view of the galaxy beyond. Pulsing stars and swirling nebulae cast a serene light over the assembly, a stark contrast to the brewing storm. On Earth, excitement buzzed in the air. Humanity had been invited to join the Galactic Council, a monumental achievement for a species that had only recently mastered interstellar travel. As a symbol of peace and cooperation, the Council had requested a human child to be brought to Seraphis Prime. This child, it was decided, would represent the innocence and potential of humanity. Lily Carter, a bright and curious 10-year-old girl, was chosen. Her parents, Jane and Robert Carter, were overwhelmed with pride and apprehension as they prepared to send their daughter into the stars. Lily, with her wide eyes and boundless curiosity, was thrilled. She had always dreamed of exploring the universe, and now she was going to be part of something extraordinary. The day of the launch was a global event. Crowds gathered at spaceports, schools paused their lessons, and people everywhere tuned in to watch the historic moment. Lily, dressed in a miniature version of an astronaut suit, waved to the cameras and smiled bravely. Her parents held back tears as they hugged her one last time before she boarded the spacecraft. "Lily, remember to be brave and kind," her mother whispered, holding her close. "You're representing all of us up there." "I will, Mom, I promise," Lily replied, her voice filled with determination. The spacecraft, a sleek and advanced vessel named Hope, lifted off smoothly, its engines humming with power. The world watched as it ascended through the atmosphere, leaving a trail of light behind. Cheers erupted, and for a moment there was a sense of unity and optimism that spanned the entire planet. However, unknown to those on Earth, not everyone in the Galactic Council welcomed humanity with open arms. A rogue faction, led by a shadowy figure named Dravak, viewed humans as a potential threat. They feared that humanity's rapid advancement and unpredictable nature could destabilize the delicate balance of power in the galaxy. Dravak and his followers hatched a sinister plan. Using their influence and technical expertise, they sabotaged the Hope, ensuring that it would never reach Seraphis Prime. As the spacecraft approached the edge of the solar system, its systems began to fail. Alarms blared and the crew desperately tried to regain control. But it was too late. The Hope was on a collision course with a massive asteroid. On Earth, the jubilant atmosphere turned to horror as the live feed from the spacecraft abruptly cut off. Frantic attempts to re-establish communication were futile. Jane and Robert Carter clung to each other, their faces pale and stricken. The world watched in stunned silence as the worst fears were confirmed. The Hope was lost, and with it, their beloved Lily. The news spread like wildfire, plunging Earth into mourning. Grief turned to anger as the realization set in that this was no mere accident. Investigations revealed the sabotage, and suspicions pointed towards factions within the Galactic Council. The outrage was palpable. How could they betray the trust of an innocent child? How could they shatter the fragile hope of peace? Earth's leaders convened in emergency sessions, their discussions heated and impassioned. The President of the United Earth Government, Maria Santos, addressed the planet in a somber broadcast. "Today we mourn the loss of Lily Carter, a bright light extinguished far too soon. We will seek justice for this atrocity, and we will not rest until those responsible are held accountable. The Galactic Council must answer for their actions." As Earth's anger simmered, a group of military advisors presented a plan. Buried deep within classified archives were blueprints and records of an ancient fleet, a relic from a time when humanity had ventured further into the stars than most knew. These ships, powerful and advanced, had been hidden away, deemed unnecessary in an era of peace. Now, they were Earth's last hope for retribution. Admiral Marcus Thorne, a respected and seasoned officer, was called upon to lead the charge. With steely resolve, he accepted the mission. The ancient fleet would be revived, and Earth would make it clear that the lives of its people were not to be trifled with. As engineers and scientists worked tirelessly to bring the fleet back to life, the people of Earth prepared for a new chapter in their history, one that would be written not with words of diplomacy, but with the steel of their resolve and the fire of their anger. The tragedy in the stars had ignited a flame that would not be extinguished until justice was served. Beneath the desolate gray surface of the moon lay a secret long forgotten by the inhabitants of Earth. Buried within the vast labyrinthine tunnels and caverns of Luna Base, shielded from prying eyes and sensor scans, were the remnants of Earth's ancient fleet. These warships, relics from an era of interstellar conflict and exploration, had been hidden away for centuries. Now, they were Earth's last hope for retribution and justice. Admiral Marcus Thorne stood in the command center of Luna Base, surrounded by a team of engineers, scientists, and military officers. Holographic displays flickered with blueprints and schematics of the ancient warships. The atmosphere was tense but determined. The mission was clear. "Ladies and gentlemen," Admiral Thorne began, his voice steady and authoritative, "we are tasked with an unprecedented mission. We must revive these ships and prepare them for battle. Our enemy is formidable, but we have the element of surprise and the full might of Earth's ingenuity on our side. We will not fail." The first task was to uncover the fleet. Massive excavation machines, specially designed for lunar terrain, roared to life. They carved through rock and regolith, revealing the colossal hangars where the ships had been stored. As the dust settled, the sight was awe-inspiring. Rows upon rows of sleek, imposing warships, each one a testament to human engineering and resolve. The ships, though ancient, were not outdated. They had been designed with modular technology, allowing for easy upgrades and modifications. Teams of engineers swarmed over them, replacing old systems with cutting-edge technology. Quantum computers, advanced shielding, and powerful new weaponry were integrated into the ship's infrastructure. Dr. Elena Vasquez, a brilliant scientist specializing in energy systems, oversaw the installation of a new type of energy core. "These cores will give our ships unprecedented power," she explained to Admiral Thorne. "We can generate more energy, and our weapons will be more effective. We're turning these old relics into the most formidable fleet in the galaxy." Simultaneously, crews worked on the ship's exteriors, repairing hull breaches and reinforcing armor plating. Drones buzzed around like mechanical bees, welding and securing new panels. Each ship was christened with a name that echoed Earth's resolve and determination. Vengeance, Retribution, Justice, and Hope's Revenge were among the many that would soon take to the stars. In the training simulators, pilots and crew members prepared for the inevitable confrontation. Flight Lieutenant Sarah Mitchell, one of the fleet's best pilots, pushed herself and her squadron to the limits. "We have one chance to get this right," she told her team. "We owe it to Lily and to every single person on Earth to make sure we're ready." As the days turned into weeks, the fleet began to take shape. The hangars, once silent and forgotten, now buzzed with activity and purpose. The ancient warships, revitalized and upgraded, stood ready to be unleashed upon the galaxy. Admiral Thorne, standing on the bridge of the flagship Revenant, felt a deep sense of responsibility and determination. The bridge, a marvel of technology, was equipped with the latest in holographic interfaces and tactical displays. His officers, handpicked for their expertise and dedication, were the best Earth had to offer. "We're ready, Admiral," reported Commander Alex Reyes, Thorne's second-in-command. "The fleet is fully operational, and our crews are prepared for launch." Admiral Thorne nodded, his expression resolute. "Transmit a message to the United Earth Government. Inform them that the fleet is ready to depart." Back on Earth, President Maria Santos received the message with a mixture of relief and resolve. In a broadcast to the world, she announced the fleet's readiness. "Today we stand on the brink of a new era. Our ancient fleet, a symbol of our strength and unity, is ready to seek justice for Lily Carter and ensure that such a tragedy never happens again. We send our prayers and support to Admiral Thorne and his brave crew. May they return victorious." As the fleet prepared for departure, the people of Earth watched with bated breath. In cities and towns, on screens large and small, the image of the ancient warships lifting off from the moon's surface filled their hearts with a mixture of hope and determination. The fleet, a testament to human resilience and ingenuity, ascended into the stars. The journey to Seraphis Prime would be long and perilous, but Admiral Thorne and his crew were undeterred. They carried with them the hopes and dreams of an entire planet, and they would not rest until justice was served. As the fleet engaged their faster-than-light drives and disappeared into the void, the people of Earth whispered a collective prayer. The tragedy in the stars had awakened a force that would not be stopped. The Galactic Council had made a grave mistake, and now, the ancient fleet was on its way to remind them that humanity's spirit could never be broken. The ancient fleet, restored and brimming with advanced technology, traveled through hyperspace, hurtling toward Seraphis Prime. The stars streaked by as Admiral Marcus Thorne stood on the bridge of the flagship Revenant. His crew, a mix of seasoned veterans and fresh recruits, moved with precision and purpose, their faces etched with determination. They knew the stakes were high. The fate of Earth and the honor of their fallen symbol, Lily Carter, rested on their shoulders. "Admiral, we're approaching the Seraphis Prime system," reported Commander Alex Reyes, his voice calm and steady despite the tension in the air. "Excellent. All ships prepare for real space reversion," Thorne ordered, his voice echoing through the fleet's communication network. The fleet emerged from hyperspace in perfect formation. The sight of dozens of warships against the backdrop of Seraphis Prime was awe-inspiring. The planet, a gleaming jewel of technology and civilization, lay before them. Orbiting the planet was the Grand Council Station, a massive structure that served as the political and administrative heart of the Galactic Council. "Scanners are detecting multiple enemy ships, Admiral," said Lieutenant Sarah Mitchell from her station. "They're scrambling to form a defensive perimeter." Admiral Thorne's lips pressed into a thin line. "It's time. All ships, advance and engage. Focus on breaking through their defensive lines. We need to reach the Grand Council Station." The fleet surged forward, and the silence of space was shattered by the roar of engines and the flash of weapons fire. The Galactic Council's fleet, though numerous, was caught off guard by the sheer might and ferocity of Earth's ancient warships. Energy beams and missiles streaked across the void, illuminating the darkness with explosions of light and fire. On the bridge of the Revenant, Admiral Thorne watched the tactical displays intently. His officers called out updates and relayed orders with practiced efficiency. The enemy ships, a mix of various alien designs, fought back fiercely, but Earth's fleet had the advantage of surprise and superior firepower. "Target their command ships," Thorne commanded. "If we can disrupt their chain of command, the rest will fall into disarray." The Revenant unleashed a barrage of plasma torpedoes, each one guided with pinpoint accuracy. One by one, the enemy command ships were crippled or destroyed, their explosions sending shockwaves through the battlefield. The Galactic Council's fleet, now leaderless and disorganized, began to falter. Flight Lieutenant Sarah Mitchell led her squadron of fighters in a daring assault on the enemy's support vessels. Her ship danced through the chaos, dodging enemy fire and launching precise strikes. "Stay tight, team. We're almost through their lines," she called out to her squadron. Meanwhile, Admiral Thorne's eyes were fixed on the Grand Council Station. "Commander Reyes, prepare the boarding teams. Once we breach their defenses, we're going in." The Revenant and several other capital ships punched through the weakened enemy lines, closing in on the massive structure of the Grand Council Station. Automated defenses sprang to life, firing streams of energy bolts and kinetic projectiles, but Earth's fleet pressed on undeterred. "Boarding teams launch," Thorne ordered. Assault shuttles brimming with elite soldiers shot out from the hangars of the Earth ships and headed towards the station. They weaved through the defensive fire, their pilots skilled and resolute. The shuttles docked with the station's outer hull, and the soldiers quickly breached the airlocks, storming into the corridors of the station. Admiral Thorne, accompanied by a contingent of his finest troops, led the charge. The halls of the Grand Council Station, once pristine and orderly, echoed with the sounds of battle. Earth's soldiers moved with lethal efficiency, neutralizing enemy resistance and securing key areas. "We're nearing the council chamber, Admiral," reported Major Elena Vasquez, who had taken point in the assault. "Good, let's end this," Thorne replied, his expression grim. The massive doors to the council chamber loomed ahead. Earth's soldiers set charges and took cover as the explosives detonated, blowing the doors inward. Smoke and debris filled the air as Thorne and his team surged into the chamber, weapons at the ready. The Galactic Council members, a mix of various alien species, stood in shock and fear as the armed humans stormed in. At the center of the room, Dravak, the leader of the rogue faction responsible for Lily's death, glared defiantly at Thorne. "You have no right to be here," Dravak spat. "This is an act of war." Thorne stepped forward, his eyes cold and unyielding. "You murdered an innocent child. This is justice." Dravak reached for a concealed weapon, but he never had the chance to draw it. A single shot rang out and he collapsed, lifeless, to the floor. The remaining council members raised their hands in surrender, their defiance crumbling in the face of Earth's resolve. Admiral Thorne addressed the assembly, his voice resonating with authority. "The people of Earth demand justice and accountability. The rogue faction responsible for Lily Carter's death has been exposed and dealt with. The rest of you will answer for your actions." A broadcast, captured and transmitted by Earth's fleet, relayed the scene across the galaxy. The sight of the Galactic Council, humbled and subdued, sent a clear message. Earth would not tolerate such treachery, and they would defend their own with unwavering resolve. As the dust settled and the echoes of battle faded, Earth's fleet stood victorious. The Grand Council Station, once a symbol of unchallenged power, now bore the marks of Earth's retribution. The Galactic Council, recognizing the need for change, pledged to reform their ways and ensure that such a tragedy would never happen again. Admiral Thorne, standing amidst the aftermath, felt a weight lift from his shoulders. Justice had been served, and the memory of Lily Carter had been honored. The battle was over, but the journey towards a lasting peace was just beginning. With the Galactic Council reformed and humbled, Earth and its allies could look to the future with renewed hope. The ancient fleet, having fulfilled its mission, would return home, its legacy cemented in the annals of history. As the fleet prepared to depart, the people of Earth watched with pride and relief. They had faced the darkness and emerged victorious, united in their resolve and strengthened by their shared sacrifice. The Battle of Seraphis Prime would be remembered as a turning point, a testament to humanity's courage and an enduring reminder that justice, though hard-won, was always worth the fight. The echoes of the Battle of Seraphis Prime reverberated throughout the galaxy. The sight of the humbled Galactic Council members, surrounded by the victorious forces of Earth, marked a new era. The galaxy had been irrevocably changed, and the actions taken in those fateful moments would shape the future for generations to come. As the dust settled on Seraphis Prime, the ancient fleet prepared for its journey home. The warships, once hidden relics, now carried the pride and hope of an entire planet. Admiral Marcus Thorne stood on the bridge of the Revenant, gazing at the stars, a mixture of relief and contemplation in his eyes. "Admiral, all ships report ready for departure," Commander Alex Reyes said, standing beside him. "Set a course for Earth," Thorne replied. "It's time to bring our people home." The fleet activated their faster-than-light drives, and with a burst of energy, they vanished from the Seraphis Prime system. The journey back to Earth was marked by a somber reflection on the costs of war and the sacrifices made. The soldiers and crew members who had fought bravely now looked forward to reuniting with their families and rebuilding their lives. Back on Earth, the atmosphere was one of cautious optimism. The victory had come at a cost, but it had also brought a sense of unity and determination. President Maria Santos prepared to address the planet, her heart heavy with the weight of the recent events, but also buoyed by the hope of a brighter future. "Citizens of Earth," she began, her voice carried across countless screens and devices, "we have faced a great tragedy and responded with strength and resolve. The Galactic Council has been held accountable, and the memory of Lily Carter has been honored. But our work is not done. We must ensure that the sacrifices made were not in vain, and that we build a future worthy of their legacy." As the fleet neared Earth, a grand welcome was prepared. Families gathered at spaceports, eager to embrace their loved ones. The return of the ancient fleet was a symbol of humanity's resilience and determination, a reminder that they could overcome any challenge when united. The warships descended through the atmosphere, their sleek forms glistening in the sunlight. Crowds cheered and waved, their spirits lifted by the sight of the returning heroes. The Revenant touched down gently, and Admiral Thorne stepped onto the tarmac, greeted by President Santos and other dignitaries. "Welcome home, Admiral," Santos said, her eyes reflecting the gratitude of an entire planet. "You and your crew have done us proud." "Thank you, Madam President," Thorne replied, his voice filled with humility. "We couldn't have done it without the support of everyone back home." As the soldiers disembarked, emotional reunions unfolded. Sarah Mitchell, the brave flight lieutenant, was enveloped in the embrace of her parents, tears of joy streaming down their faces. Major Elena Vasquez, her uniform still bearing the marks of battle, was met by her young son, who hugged her tightly. The sense of relief and celebration was palpable, but there was also a collective understanding that the galaxy had changed. The Galactic Council, now reformed and more transparent, extended a genuine hand of peace. They acknowledged their mistakes and pledged to work towards a more just and equitable future for all species. In the months that followed, Earth and the Galactic Council embarked on a series of collaborative projects. Scientific and cultural exchanges flourished, and new treaties were signed to ensure mutual respect and cooperation. The memory of Lily Carter became a symbol of hope and reconciliation, inspiring efforts to prevent such tragedies in the future. Admiral Thorne, now retired from active duty, took on a new role as a diplomat, helping to bridge the gaps between Earth and the broader galaxy. His experience and wisdom were invaluable in forging new alliances and fostering understanding. The ancient fleet, though no longer needed for war, found a new purpose as guardians of peace. The warships, now equipped with advanced sensors and communication systems, patrolled the galaxy, ensuring the security of all member planets and responding to any signs of distress or conflict. On Earth, life gradually returned to normal. The cities and towns rebuilt and the economy flourished. The people, having faced the darkness and emerged stronger, looked to the future with renewed hope and determination. The Galactic Council, under new leadership, became a true forum for dialogue and cooperation. The rogue factions were dismantled, and measures were put in place to prevent any recurrence of the events that had led to the tragedy. The council chambers, once a place of tension and mistrust, now resonated with the voices of diverse species working together for the common good. As the sun set on a peaceful Earth, President Santos stood on the balcony of the United Earth Government headquarters, looking out over the city. The lights below twinkled like stars, a reflection of the bright future that lay ahead. She thought of Lily Carter and the countless others who had sacrificed for this new dawn. "We did it," she whispered to herself. "We've made a better world." And so from the ashes of tragedy, a new era began, one of